You know, I got little fuzzies all over my head. The hair needs to fall out completely already because this hair is like Velcro. Alright. We are at chemo number 2 of 16. And I'm pigging out on food right now because I won't eat anything for the rest of the day after this. I'm here too. Steven's here. My lovely boyfriend is here. Those are my bags up there. There's 3 of them going. We have, well, no, there's 2 of them going right now. We have the regular bag of fluids to get your body hydrated, and then the steroid that they give you every time beforehand, and then one of the anti-nausea medications. So, and then I'm going to get some Ativan. Make me feel all wonderful and loopy. And then we're gonna start the chemo. Well, that was weird. Don't mix that up.
I didn't know it was all like gross. Should let me make one for your crush.
Go away.
Then
I like how it is. Stop it! Get away! I'll kick you out of this room.
I just want to touch it. I want to see how wet it was.
Remember that one time when you were like, that was really audacious of you to stick your hands on my food. No one would do that. I can't believe you just stuck your hands on my food and thought that that was okay. And now look at you 2 months later.
Yeah,
sticking your fingers in my yogurt.
When I said that, I was just giving you shit. Like a fire alarm going off. So if it's actually a fire, they tell us.
I'm not too concerned.
Nobody else has to go.
You hear that dinging?
What's up, phone?
That's a fire alarm, I think.
No, definitely.
Okay, that definitely is the fire alarm. As I'm sitting in here, hooked up with the door closed, I would hope someone would tell me if I was about to burn up and die. Listen, turn that off. Did you hear that? They were like code red, west, something, something. Let's Google what code red means. Oh, it's fire. Code red means that there's a fire in the hospital.
Huh.
There's a fire somewhere in the hospital right now. The west. Are we on the west side of the hospital? We are on the west side of the hospital. Steven's getting, I would say, mildly impatient.
No, it's just big lull in administration mode.
We've been at the hospital since about 8:30 this morning, and now it is noon, and I have yet to even start chemo. Steven, are you worried about the second chemo?
I know what to expect at the worst.
What if it's worse than last time? What if the first time wasn't the worst? Because it easily could have not been the worst.
I guess we'll be back here later tonight.
Oh shit. Oh man.
Pretty sure you'll be alright though.
I hope
You're
so.
just gonna sleep again for like 3 days straight.
Sleep for 3 days straight. That's kind of what it is. But the problem with Pinterest is I find all these awesome, fun, creative little projects, arts and craftsy things, and all these recipes I want to try. But I don't ever do any of them. I just continuously pin more and more and more and more. And then I never actually do any of them. I've done one ever. Yeah, I feel drugged up right now. For some reason, I discovered this from the first chemo. Okay, well, for the first like 5 days, I have absolutely no appetite. But the 2 things I can choke down are like applesauce and pickles. And then like the one thing I can drink besides water that isn't like make me want to puke is apple juice. So I really like apple stuff after chemo apparently. And then we should go to Walmart so I can stock up on kosher dill pickles and applesauce. We'll probably just get a jug of apple juice.
Okay.
Sweet. It is about 10 o'clock on the same day as chemo number 2. I'm out in the living room. I have been in bed all day sleeping. I'm out in the living room because I had my boyfriend come in the bedroom with me to just kind of lay and watch TV, and so I thought I'd come out here to finish this video up. Some things are slightly improved from chemo number 1. I think it's due to switching some medications around from some really bad side effects I was getting. The memory stuff was not quite as bad, in my opinion, and my hands are not as tense. But on the flip side of the coin, this time my legs from about halfway down my quads to the bottom of my kneecaps, or partially on my calves, is very tight and numb, and it feels like moving them is like a chore. And that is also how my wrists are beginning to feel. Last time it was my hands and my knuckles particularly. They feel a little tight, not like last time though. However, my knees do feel extremely tight. So that's a difference, I guess, that I'm noticing. Once again, the main problem is the nausea. I feel like I'm about to puke at any moment, and we switched up my nausea medications. I'm taking a different, we got rid of one that I was taking that was giving me weird side effects, like my tongue was like not working in my mouth when I would try to talk, and there was like drooling and lip smacking and fidgeting and weird stuff with my mouth when I was like trying to talk and stuff. And that was because that medication I was taking was an older medication, and it affects a lot of areas of your brain. They got rid of that, kept one of my medications in an 8 milligram tablet, and then also got me a prescription in a 4 milligram tablet. I'm going to take the 4 milligram one scheduled and the 8 milligram one whenever I need it. And then also we started a new anti-nausea medication that I took it in an IV beforehand. It was one of the anti-nausea ones I did beforehand, and then they have it in a pill form I'm going to take tomorrow and the next day. So it should, be 3 heavy doses of anti-nausea stuff over the course of 3 days, since I had so many problems with it. But I'm a little irritated because I still feel like I'm having those problems. Like, I know now from how I'm feeling, I won't be eating like anything for, the rest of today, since I had that pizza, and I won't be eating anything tomorrow. Hopefully I can eat something Sunday, but the nausea is just like, it's like a different kind of nausea than I've ever had. Not only does food seem unappetizing, and I'm not hungry and I don't want to eat it, but it's like when you bring it around me, it makes me want to go throw up. And things after chemo, I imagine, I've never been pregnant, but I imagine it's similar to being pregnant, where some things taste different and some things have extremely strong, potent senses or potent smells, because your senses just get like messed up. If I do eat anything, it's going to be very light, nothing heavy, and like the smell of anything cooking would make me sick. So it's weird. I don't know. But overall, like I would say I would have rated from 10, from 1 being like basically no side effects to 10 being like as, you know, bad as I had imagined that chemo was going to be. I would say session number 1 was about a 9. The only thing that didn't happen really that would have made me miserable that I thought might happen would be mouth sores, and I just got a few of them very minorly in the time range, which is about a week to 10 days after your first chemo. That's when your blood counts are the lowest, and at that time I got a few mouth sores really mildly. The only thing that could have been worse than I had expected would have been the mouth sores. Now, saying that for chemo number 1, chemo number 2 isn't seeming quite as bad yet, mainly because I am much more coherent than I was the first time. I feel like my brain is functioning better this time, whereas last time it was I'm still sleeping like I was, where I'm just like constant astronomical levels of exhaustion, but I'm able to think and I am able to be awake, whereas last time I couldn't even stay awake. It was like I just passed out, and it was very hard to form sentences. So I would say scale of 1 to 10, this one definitely improved slightly. I would say it's like a 7.5. Since every chemo session, you know, for each person tends to be a little different. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. The nurses told me that for most people, the worst time or the worst day is day 2 to 3 after you get your chemo done. Last time for me, during my first chemo, the worst time was about 6 to 8 hours later. Like that night was the worst. Since that's not the case yet for me this time, I'm wondering if this time, tomorrow and Sunday, are going to be the really bad days, or if I just am getting lucky and having a little easier chemo this time. We'll see. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. I'll make a video, a comparison video from today to tomorrow. I wish I could be out doing the Halloween festivities, but there's no way I could even stand up for more than like 10 minutes right now with the level of exhaustion. So it's not a possibility. Obviously I can't drink, but I couldn't even get ready to go out, I don't think. Just getting my hair makeup on would be too much. So I hope everyone else is having a fun time at the bars. You should have a drink for me.